Okay, today we are taking a deep dive into the world of eye supplements. But hang on, we're not just going to list off a bunch of ingredients. We're going to look at something that's often completely ignored, how those ingredients actually get to where they need to go.
So let's just kick things off with a huge question right from our source material. What if the supplements you're taking, the ones packed with all the good stuff, never really reach your eyes in amounts that matter? It's a pretty powerful thought, and it kind of flips the whole conversation on its head.
And that exact question brings us to what the source calls the delivery dilemma. You see, the argument is that for decades, everyone's been focused on the ingredients, which ones are best, what the right dosage is, but they've been missing a massive part of the equation, the journey itself.
I mean, just think about the crazy journey a normal supplement pill has to take. It's a tough road, for sure. First, you swallow it. Then it hits your stomach acid. Then it has to get processed and filtered out by your liver. By the time that whole gauntlet is over, a tiny, tiny fraction of those nutrients might actually make it to your eyes.
And this quote right here, it just nails it. The point is, you can have the most amazing ingredients in the world, but if your delivery system is inefficient, those benefits get lost along the way. It's not just about what you're taking, it's about what your body can actually use.
So, this whole focus on delivery, it naturally leads us to the first big idea from the source material, getting ahead of the curve. They call it the prevention principle.
The thinking here is pretty straightforward, right? It's a lot easier to consistently support your eye health day after day, year after year, than it is to try and fix a major problem once it's already there. The source makes a great point that once some changes get too advanced, your options can become pretty limited.
So let's be super clear about what we mean here. Proactive nutritional support isn't the treatment for something that's already wrong. It's defined as a simple daily wellness habit, something you do to support your eyes for the long haul.
All right, so if traditional pills have this major delivery problem, what's the alternative? Well, that brings us to the second key idea, a completely different way of doing things using a nanospray.
This chart breaks it down perfectly. On the left, you've got the old way, the pill, trudging through your digestive system. It's slow, it gets filtered, and a lot gets lost. But then, on the right, you have the oral nanospray. It takes a shortcut, aiming for direct and fast absorption right in your mouth for a much more consistent result. And here's what that actually looks like in action. That super fine mist is designed to completely sidestep that digestive gauntlet we were just talking about. The whole idea is to get the nutrients into your bloodstream more directly through all the permeable tissue inside your mouth.
But you know, a cool new delivery system isn't the whole shebang. This brings us to the third and final piece of the puzzle, and it connects the quality of a product to something we all struggle with, just being consistent.
And this is so real, isn't it? A supplement can't do you any good if it's just sitting in the cabinet. People stop taking them all the time, either because they forget, they hate swallowing giant pills, or, they just start to wonder if it's even doing anything.
So to fight that, the argument is that a premium formulation helps build trust and makes it way easier to stick with it. And that means a few things. Using pharmaceutical-grade ingredients, which is a much higher purity standard than typical food-grade stuff, being made in a specialized U.S. nanotech lab, testing every single batch for purity, and having zero fillers or artificial junk. And that quality isn't just about the raw materials, it's also about who is behind the product. The source notes that this was formulated by an optometrist with over 25 years of clinical experience.
And they didn't do it alone. They worked with nanophysicists who hold a combined 6 PhDs. We're talking about some serious scientific brainpower being put into the design of this thing.
So let's bring all three of these big ideas together. This idea of proactive support, the efficient delivery system, and that critical link between product quality and your own consistency.
And here it is, the big takeaway. When you combine top-tier, trustworthy ingredients with a delivery method that's actually designed to work efficiently and is easy to use, the entire dynamic just changes. It stops being a chore and starts becoming a seamless part of your daily routine.
This final image, in its tagline, "Spray for sight, day or night," really sums it all up, doesn't it? It's simple, it's memorable, and it perfectly captures that proactive, easy-to-use approach to supporting your eye health. And that leaves us with a much bigger question to chew on. This whole time, we've been talking about eye health, but this core principle that the delivery method is just as critical as the ingredients, well, that has massive implications. If the journey really is as important as the destination, how might this change how we approach nutritional support for our entire body? Now that is some food for thought.